If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is November 29th, the last Friday in November. I hope everybody had a good holiday yesterday. I hope you had that. That would be good to have. Few announcements up front. We have our Cyber Monday sale. It's actually going on now with the app, and maybe you saw that community post. So if you go look at the community post, it explains it, but I can explain it here. So the first 50 people that sign up, they get 25% off. That's new customers only. And I think I saw one person sign up so far. So take advantage of the 25% off. It would do you better at the yearly, but you can do it at any level, but it would take more of advantage at the yearly level if you like to. So 25% off. You have to use the code CYBER, CYBER, to take advantage of that when they tell you to enter the promo code. But we have, I think, 49 more spots left to take advantage of that. So please take advantage of the Cyber Monday sale for the app. Get you some discounts there. But outside of that, yesterday we went to family house and all of that. They had so much food, Lord, they had too much food. And you know how it is on those days. I mean, my wife made a lot of pies. She sold a lot of pies too, but she made pies, and then she came and she made turkey and everything else that was made. Mac and cheese and so many different things that was made. I can't think of everything. I know they had cornbread, dressing and dirty rice, and they had so many different things over there. No, we didn't have Kamala's bathtub greens. We didn't have that. Maybe next year I can call Kamala if she's not drunk. Send me the recipe for the bathtub greens. But since she'll have some extra time on our hands to do that. So tonight, we definitely, I didn't know what I was going to talk about tonight. That's the thing about the live streams. I never know what I'm going to talk about the day of. I don't know until I see something that lands right in my lap. So the Congressional Black Caucus is trying to convince Black Americans that mass deportations are our issue. Because some of them are from foreign backgrounds. And this is what we were talking about. If you are a Congressional Black Caucus, you should be focused on Black Americans, right? Not immigration. And if you got people in your district who aren't legal, you should have been helping them to get legal if they are Black, right? So that's a failure on you since you come from a foreign background. But we'll talk about that here a little later. Yeah, I seen somebody joking online. It was funny. They were showing them the woman washing the greens in the bathtub. It was funny. I mean, boy, they don't know how much that woman getting clowned right now about some bathtub greens. I know sort of football was on. I think the Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants game was on. And I think it was Chicago and Detroit playing. Who won with Chicago and Detroit? Because I didn't catch the ending of that game. Who won that game? Did Detroit win? Because Detroit, man, they are, at least when I watched the game, they were 10-1. I'm quite shocked. I say that Detroit is doing that good this year. Did they have some free agency or something like that? All right, letting people come on in. Come on in. You say they fired the Bears coach? I heard something about that. Yeah, I heard something about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you say the Detroit did win? Okay, cool. All right, well, let me go ahead on and good. I haven't played him, I think, all week either. So let me go ahead on and get Eric Mays in here and let me go ahead and get started.
I'm just telling you. I'm going to let you talk.
Who you talking to? You gonna let? The voters let me. I got voted in. Who you talking to? You gonna let me? I got seconds left.
I want you to know.
Ain't she crazy? How many seconds? I'm counting your time. Miss Galloway, I'm gonna rule you out of order. You keep talking so much.
Do I have the floor? Do I?
Yes, you do.
You have the floor. Thank you very much.
What a fool.
We have got to help the city of Flint. We have got to move the city forward. We have got to vote yes on this. Thank you.
Ms. Herkenroder, you the reason that I'm going to vote the way I'm going to vote, because you tried to put words in my mouth like I said you was a racist. You got to stop doing that. You've got to stop doing that.
Ms. Fields, please be very careful in that area. Please.
All I said there was mediation and there were people in rooms. That's
who
not
in what
confidential.
room and how many.
But I am going to finish saying this.
Well, go ahead.
That's fine. Do you?
It shouldn't be fine. We got folks sitting in business, and I wouldn't care if you was the chair, the sofa, the TV. So you might want a dialogue.
I don't give a...
You don't give a what?
That's what he's trying to do.
So you dialoguing?
There's no dialogue.
It is some dialogue. You gave me some
point
dialogue.
Of order. Councilwoman Worthy, what is your point of order? No, I'm not.
You ain't?
I'm not.
You must.
This is a joke.
Stop this abuse.
I'm going to give
It
you
is
a point of order. Personal attacks is out of order. Now, you want to make a personal attack on me, I'm going to tell you something. I'm tired of Ms. Fields calling me racist. I'm tired of you calling me personal names as it relates to women. I'm tired of it. It's wrong. You're out of order. But you keep doing it. Because when I start blasting your butt, like I'm doing, everybody already know it's coming from y'all. But don't get beside yourself, Mr. Chairman. If he gonna holler tell me to shut up, you better give him his warning.
I gave you yours.
Give him his. If you gonna discriminate, you gonna let the white man running for mayor holler across and tell this black man to shut up.
I don't want to hear that.
So when he get loud, I'm gonna get louder. When they go low, I go lower.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Eric Mays. May he definitely rest in power. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. The Congressional Black Caucus is what we're going to discuss tonight because that's, that's, how it is with them. So let me go ahead on and get this up here. We're going to have this discussion and see if some of you agree with this on this particular article here that we're going to look at with the Congressional Black Caucus. The CBC members see Trump's mass deportation promises as an affront to Black Americans. Let's ask a question. if you had family that trace all the way back to slavery in America, and your family has the lineage of slavery, and all your family members that you can remember has been here, are you really worried about mass deportations? Yes or no? I'm just curious about that, because maybe they're saying something that I'm just misinformed about, and maybe y'all can correct me. But are y'all really caring about mass deportations as Black Americans who can trace their ancestors all the way back to slavery, and even trace your ancestors even back to the continent? Some of you have even done that. But are you worried about it? I'm just curious, are you worried? Because it seems like the Congressional Black Caucus says that Trump promising mass deportation is the front to Black Americans, okay? Because it has nothing to do with me, and none of my family members going to get deported. You know, I mean, so what are we talking about here? But this is the problem right here. No doubt in my mind, there will be immigrants of African descent that are in the crosshairs of what he's planning to do. Most people of African descent, for the most part, are here legally because they don't let them come over illegally too much. Now, maybe some of them came underneath this Biden hustle, but the majority of them actually come legally, way more than those that come from Latin America. So I don't know like what she's talking about, but let's continue here. So this is wrote by Tinashe Shingarande, and that's definitely not an American name. I'm talking about the last name for sure. Then they said Trump's announcement Monday night that he plans to impose tariffs on China, Canada, and Mexico is the latest evidence that he plans to govern just as he promised. And if that's the case, lawmakers have a good reason to worry about Trump's mass deportation plans. Why? I'm trying to figure that out. And I don't know if y'all been following this situation with Trump by Canada and Mexico with the tariffs. Have y'all been following that? Let's talk about that real quick. It's quite interesting, and I'm liking every bit of it. So Trump had came out and said, look, if Mexico and Canada, they don't get this immigration deal going on and fix that, and if Mexico don't stop the drugs from coming in and all of that, then this is what I'm about to do. I'm going to put a 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada, right? Until they fix that issue and problem. If they fix it or make a deal with me, I won't do it. Okay, cool. So then the new Mexican president, she come out, run off in her mouth in a letter, trying to say, oh, well, if you do it to us, we're going to do one in kind and all of that. And she'll just run off in her mouth about, because it's the need of drugs in America. That's why the drugs is it hurts my country, and all the guns y'all ship down here to the cartels, or we don't make guns. And she was doing all her talking. Then she ended up calling Trump. So then Trump get on social media after that and say, hey, we got a good conversation. She said she's going to basically eventually like help me close the border. And then she comes out, no, I didn't say all that. Now, it's quite funny because at least the Mexican president got to play both sides. Because in other words, she got to play good with Trump, but at the same time, she better play ball with the cartel, because the only reason she's the president is because she's been approved by the cartel. Because if you have not been approved by the cartel, you won't be there very long. That's just the way it goes in Mexico. Now, you go to Canada. Canada is definitely a different situation. No, Canada don't have the cartels and all that mess going on. But Canada is really struggling financially. I didn't really know that. I was talking to Emma about some of that. The Canadian dollar is down right now. I think it's 71 cents to every $1 American dollar right now. Emma has showed me some videos where they had some jobs like at McDonald's, and you seen wraparound lines trying to get jobs at McDonald's of all places, right? And I was like, wow. I said, this looks like some of the videos I've seen out of South Africa, where they have a couple of jobs and you see 10,000 people show up for a couple of jobs. It's like that, literally, in Canada. Emma showed me a pack of chicken costs over there. It's crazy. It is crazy. Like the amount of money they spending on food over there. So then Trump talking about, I'm going to put a 25% tariff. And so what ended up happening with that? Justin Trudeau, the prime minister, and you got to understand, Canada is a country, let's say like if the Democrats controlled all America, that would be Canada. That would be the equivalent, what Canada is. So Justin Trudeau, what I found out, the prime minister, I didn't know this, he flew to Mar-a-Lago. So he went over there hollering at Trump. And I'm laughing at some of this stuff. And I'm saying, man, Biden's a sitting president, and then nobody even cared about Biden. Nobody cared about Biden the whole time he's been in office. But Trump made one little post online, and it flips them all out. I don't know. I like people like that can make people move. I like that. Say what you want. So when they say about Trump, then, and this is the deal about Trump. When you let your yes be yes and your no be no, that's why people fear him. And that's something you should really, the Bible teach about that. Let your yes be yes, no be no. So what these politicians better realize is that people like somebody who say, I'm going to do this and do it. Like all these politicians like Kamala and Biden, yeah, when I get in office, we're going to get that George Floyd bill done. We're going to fix that for black folks. And then they get in office, oh, man, I couldn't do it. But you said you was going to do it. We voted for you. But versus when Trump say he going to do something, he usually gets it done. You know what I'm saying? And I think the American people need to have that standard for every politician that comes on after Trump. Like, hey, if you tell me you're going to do it, you better do it or you're out of there. Don't let them lie to you no more. The standard that Trump is setting, it should be the standard for all politicians. Now, speaking of that, I don't know why y'all Democrats keep floating AOC to run against, I guess it would be J.D. Vance. I'm telling you, AOC will lose worse than Kamala. Ain't nobody going to vote for that woman. That woman crazy. But let's continue. All right. So they say among other groups in Congress most anxious about it is the Congressional Black Caucus. Why? Why are you anxious about Trump and deportation? Okay, let's continue. The CBC members aren't just opposed to Trump's immigration policy. Immigration don't affect black Americans, but I told y'all that's been a problem. How are you going to have a Congressional Black Caucus and they're not even worrying about the issues of black Americans? They don't talk about reparations. They don't talk about the anti-black hate crime bill. They don't talk about black children's education. They don't talk about giving our kids and opportunities. They're not talking about helping our brothers and sisters coming out of jail that's incarcerated to help them get back into society. They're not talking about any of that. They're talking about immigration. They say they're uniquely concerned about how Trump's immigration policy would hit black communities. The community I came from, where I was born and raised in, it wouldn't bother them at all. They say on a personal level, many CBC members are related to foreign-born immigrants, so there's particular distress. But there's also an easiness about their constituents. And see, this is, and people like Ilhan Omar, people like that, who said that she's going to advocate for Somalia. She should have been gone, but she's not going to be gone because she's surrounded by her community and she's protected by them. But when you talk about reparations, right, and things like that, people that's foreign born, they don't notice they never advocate for it. Why? Because they couldn't get it. Now, they say Representative Sheila Sherfilis McCormick, they say the first and only representative of Haitian American descent in Congress, told notice that her constituents have gone into complete panic mode and have been inundating her office with calls. They said we have a lot of fear, especially in South Florida. They said you have so many recipients of humanitarian parole who are actually here for valid reasons, but they're just becoming scared. They say other CBC members told notice they fear Trump's approach to immigration policy is so extreme it could displace individuals who are actually documented. That's not what they were saying they're going to do. They said that they're going to go after people that were criminals, the people that had deportation orders first. And they say they're also worried about how much harder black immigrant social lives would be, given that Trump peddled false conspiracy theories about Haitian immigrants killing and eating pets over the summer. Okay, let's talk about that. Nobody's even talking about that no more. People, most of it was a laugh, ha, 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 as a joke. But to take that seriously, nobody took that seriously. So why is she even bringing it up and talking about it? That's number one. Number two, if you have temporary protected status, it's called temporary, okay? Temporary. That means you should have tried to figure out a way to get out of temporary and to get your green card. if I'm a immigrant that come here, right, the first thing I'm going to do, if I get any kind of visa and I want to stay, I want to make sure to get my green card. That's what I want to do. I want to get my green card so I can stay. And I will do whatever I got to do to make sure I get my green card. Okay, that's exactly what I'll do. Wonder who that was at my door. But anyway, so why y'all so distressed about Trump? Trump not really going after. I ain't hear mention a bunch of Haitians, but I mean, Florida, I mean, it's a lot of Cubans too he can go after. It's a lot of them. And why not? I hear a lot of black people say they're gonna be calling ICE. They say they're gonna be calling ICE and saying, hey, they over here. Because like I said before, if it was us, people have no problem pointing out black people. How many times have we said that? They have no problem pointing out us when we do something wrong. Okay, now Yak Diesel says off topic. Okay, what happened exactly at Turkey Leg Hut over in Houston? Is it just Houston location that's closed? Hate to see this happen to it. Turkey Leg Hut. First of all that stuff started going bad when they ended up getting a divorce. Once they got divorced, he got out the business. There was some debts that was owed. They ended up filing bankruptcy. The landlord ended up terminating the lease of the building. All that money they was making, and he did not go buy their own building. I will say this. Black folk, if you're leasing somewhere and you got a very, very, very successful business, please save your money up so you can get a down payment to get your own building that's yours that you can build up yourself. Get some business financing and build your own spot. You don't want to lease forever because the landlord do control that. He can kick you out. She can kick you out at the end of your lease. They can terminate a lease if you violate an agreement. So get your stuff done. Once that marriage is broken up, now I heard infidelity in his marriage. I heard, some domestic issues. Just I'm telling you what I've heard. But yeah, I mean, they said that he was trying to start something else in Houston, the husband on his own. They're not married anymore, but yeah, that's just kind of what happened with that. But continuing back to the main subject matter. Now they said, no doubt in my mind that there will be immigrants of African descent. They are in the crosshairs of what he planned on doing. Representative Yvette Clarke, who's also in the co-chairs the Haiti Caucus. Okay, so you got a whole Haiti Caucus on the Hill. Yvette Clarke, Haiti Caucus. Okay. You want to make sure something is done in the Haiti Caucus, but the Black Caucus, we can't get nothing done. We once again, see, I told y'all, this is why Black Americans don't get nowhere. I'm telling you right now, Black American voters, it's not just the Democrats you got to focus on. I told y'all that black politician and that black preacher has been the greatest thorn on our side in our community. I don't know how many times I'm going to tell y'all that. The black preacher, the black politician. What we need done is we need a list of all the Congressional Black Caucus members, those who ride with Black Americans and those who don't. Those who don't, they behind need to be gone in 2026. Black folk need to look at if they in your district, say, oh, he's here, she's here. Oh, I'm voting them out. Or if there's nobody you can vote out, then say, you know what? I ain't voting for none of them. Because forget that. These Congressional Black Caucus members need to go. But this is why we don't get nowhere. She's worrying about, I'm telling you, the majority of the immigrants that was brought in here was not African immigrants or Caribbean immigrants. It was immigrants from Latin America. They said, and I don't know if legal or illegal, they said about 2 million or so black immigrants here in America. But they say they didn't brought in 13 to 20 million from Latin America. Trump worried about them. He's not worried about the black immigrants like that. I'm telling you, he's really not. Now, they say for members like Representative Sidney Kamlager Dove, it said the fact that immigration conversation is so focused on the Latino community miss that black people will also be significantly affected. See, this is what I'm talking about right there. Other groups don't care when we're going to be affected by anything. They only care about when they're affected. If nothing happens to them, They say to hell with everybody else. I don't care, as long as my community not affected. But here you go trying to crowbar that political black and brown stuff. And we know politically there's no such thing as no black and brown. That was black folks. Brown did not ask to join with nobody. So you can't even get mad at them. I don't even know why people get mad at them in this election. All the Latinos did it. The Latinos never asked you to join with them for anything as a group. I'm not saying individuals, but they never asked you politically to join with them as a group. They never say, let's sit at the table. Their organizations have never said, let's join up, let's do this. No. That were black folks doing that. Because black folks, I'm sorry, but black folks is some of you are pathetic. You don't want to work with your own. We got 40 some odd million black Americans. You mean to tell me we can't work with them? You got to go beg other groups. Well, we need allies. No. Somebody got to want to be your ally. Somebody got to want to work with you. It's not on the Latinos to work with black Americans. Let's think about it. The Latinos' causes is nothing to do with us. And our causes has nothing to do with them. There's no intersectionality there. You understand? We're not trying to improve the race. We're not trying to do that. We don't look at improving the race by getting with a white person. That doesn't improve our race. We don't think like that. We focusing on reparations. We're not trying to assimilate into whiteness. We're not trying to call ourselves white. I'm a white American. I'm not black. I'm white. I'm black, but put white on my thing on race. So ethnicity put black, but white on no black American is saying we want to be labeled as white. LULAC fought for them to be labeled as whites. That's LULAC did that. Now, I'm not saying all Latinos agree with it, because I don't need y'all writing me. Because I feel I don't agree with that. I don't write me. I'm just telling you what your organization's done. Your LULAC, what is it? The League of Latin, or the League of Latin Americans, something like that. They say it's the largest organization, right? But they fought to be labeled, to put the white on there. And you could say, well, I've had Latinos say, well, the LULAC people's like what you call like the boule in the black community, the uppity Latinos. Okay, I get it. They're not the working class Latinos. I get it, because I have Latinos that watch our program all the time. And I've met some of you that love the program. I get that they're the uppity Latinos. But y'all gonna have to deal with your uppity Latinos like we have to deal with our uppity blacks who's in the Congressional Black Caucus. So y'all gonna have to deal with them. If y'all don't want them putting that on y'all about white, then y'all gonna have to deal with y'all uppity Latinos. That's y'all issue. But our issue is we got our own issues and problems that we got to deal with in Black America, and Latinos did not ask us to join up on anything, because we won't deal with immigration. They do, right? They have homelands, right? Mexico, El Salvador. They, you know what I'm saying? They speak a different language. So many different things that we don't have. Listen, we were born and bred here. We built this country from scratch. Sure, we all have African descent. Yes, we can trace ancestors all the way back. And if you say, I ain't know it, listen, I'm not arguing with you. We live in a country that says that it's 100 different genders. So if you want to pick something today, I'm not going to argue. I don't argue with people. I don't argue with people about nothing. Call yourself a dog if you want to. Don't care. That's not what I'm here to do. I don't have that kind of time. But we have to focus on our community, what we got going on. We got to fix home first. Like they say, you can't help other people if you don't fix home first. That's been black folks' problem. You can't fix home, then you get so-called representation, and then they want to focus on everybody else except home. That's why we have to, not just the Democrats, because what black folks are doing now, they focus so much on the Democrat Party and the basic white people. And white Democrats are not, they part of the problem, but they have not been the biggest problem. The biggest problem has been the black Democrat, the black boule Democrat, which most of them are. And some of y'all don't want to put feet to the fire at these black folks. My thing is this: if you're not doing for black people, I look at you no different than some racist. I look at you like an anti-black racist. Matter of fact, I believe we should be harder on the Congressional Black Caucus than even Biden or any of them. Because listen, we get where Biden's coming from, but hold on, you're supposed to be black. And let's say if you immigrate here, you're supposed to be, I think, 20 toes down, because look, the sacrifices we made a lane for you to come here. And so you should be really involved to make sure that everybody's good in Black America too, because that's going to benefit you. Why aren't you trying to make sure Black America's good? Because if you Black America's good, you're going to be good, right? So that is offensive if somebody come in here from a black nation and you trying to work against Black America, and you wouldn't have got here, it wouldn't been for Black Americans. You wouldn't be enjoying your life, it wouldn't be for Black Americans. And then some people say, why people had this conversation about Africa? Let me say something about this. Yes, I saw what DeVito said. And I know Wangel reported on it, and Victor, who lives in Nigeria, reported on it. But this is what I'm going to say. Some of the worst commentary about Africa I've ever heard came from African immigrants, all first generation. DeVito is first generation, Nigeria, okay? What DeVito said about Nigeria, me personally, I shook my head about it. Now, of course, you're going to have some Black Americans that don't really travel and know no better in what they're saying. He right. Like, have you been in Nigeria? Most people say no. I haven't even been in Nigeria yet. I'm going next year, but I haven't been as of yet, right? But from what I talk to Nigerians about and see some of the problems in Nigeria, this is my issue when I hear people talking like that, DeVito and others. How come white people keep going over there? Every time I go to an African continent, it's a bunch of white people. It's Asians. It's East Indians. But the planes are full of them. So while DeVito's sitting in Atlanta talking about how horrible Nigeria is, the white folks. And matter of fact, last time when I was going to Johannesburg, they have a flight to Lagos, from Atlanta to Lagos. And I looked, and I didn't know that was the Lagos flight. And I looked over, and I seen a lot of white people. So how is it all these white people going to Lagos? But if I go in Atlanta, go to Lagos, but you're silly behind talking about, oh, well, dude. That's when I don't listen to people. Now, if white people didn't want to go, and the Asians, and everybody else didn't want to go, then I say, okay. And then, yeah, I'm going to say that. Because they see value. I know how these other groups move. They see value in those places while y'all don't. While you try to run to America and camp up in America, what you're supposed to do is come here, make your bag, take it back to your homeland and benefit in your homeland. But no, y'all want to parlay and just sit here in America and don't be no benefit to your brothers and sisters back home. That's the only thing I'm saying. But anyway, that stuff gets on my nerves. I'm not even from Nigeria. But it gets on my nerves when I hear them saying that, and the white folks every day going over there, opening up businesses. They living like kings and queens in Africa. And all the time. They showing up. Don't even talk about Cape Town, South Africa. Don't even get me started on that. Man, they didn't try to turn that into some European paradise now. Don't get me started talking about Cape Town. They don't go to Johannesburg. They run they behind the Cape Town. You don't believe me? Go to Cape Town. You would be like, where in the hell am I at? That was my first, when I first went to Cape Town, the first time, that was my reaction. I'm like, where am I at? I never seen so many of them, because my experience has been in Kenya and Ethiopia and all that. And then when I get down there to Cape Town, I'm like, Johannesburg, you see them here and there, but boy, you get to Cape Town? Man, that's why I'm like, man, y'all go to Durban. That's why I'm a firm believer of Durban. Now, Durban, you don't see all that. Go to Durban. Cape Town, beautiful, though. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. It is. But Durban is where it's at for me. All right, let's continue. You say you from New York, say Yvette Clark is not FBA. Her parents are from Jamaica. Okay, well, it makes sense. It makes sense. All right. So this is what they saying. I want y'all to listen to this. The immigrant may be the person that's helping you get your hair done, taking your child to school, helping you with your house, doing your taxes, helping you at the grocery store, help as your caregiver, is your mother's caregiver. Hold on, man. Hold on. When I grew up, the people that cut my hair and the women that did the women's hair were FBAs. Who took the children to school? either your parents or the school bus. Who helped us with our house? Nobody. We had to clean it ourselves. Doing our taxes? I'm sure they got some Americans that can do taxes. Helping us at the grocery store? When I grew up, there wasn't no immigrants at the grocery store. It was black people and white people, but there wasn't no immigrants. Caregiver? That's only family. Your mother's caregiver? Usually that's family. So I don't know what she's talking about. Like that's gonna, like, these people are trying to put out a message. Well, Trump do that. Boy, y'all not gonna have nobody. Y'all a freaking lie. See, that's why I know you're not from the black community. They're talking like that. He said recent data that shows black immigrants constituting a sizable share of healthcare and service industry workers. Do you want to wake up and the next day you hear that they have been deported? Let me say this. So when people go to jail, do people care? I'm just asking that question. Do people care when people go to jail? You wake up one day and say, man, you heard they got locked up? Nobody stopped their life if somebody got locked up. So immigration has been the top of Trump's policy agenda since the early days of his first run for presidency. On top of his promises to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border, Trump expanded migrant detention programs across the country during his first stint in the White House. In 2019, for example, Immigration and Customs Enforcement detained migrants at record high rates. Black detainees were also abused at disproportionate rates in these detention centers. And on the campaign trail last year, Trump pledged to conduct the largest mass deportation program in history, regardless of cost. Well, y'all do realize how much money, prime example, Chicago. Let's talk about cost real quick. Mayor Brandon Johnson in Chicago has spent so much money, he wants to tack on high property taxes on the residents of Chicago to pay for all the money he spent. Mayor Eric Adams in New York City had a debit card program that was giving them all this free food, all this free money, and it didn't solve anything. And he was talking about cutting city services, doing this and that and the third. It would be much cheaper to spend money to get them on out. And once you get them out, what it's going to do? Stop draining resources in the cities. It's going to stop the food prices from going up. Because remember, all these millions of people you're bringing in, they're going to do what? Jack up bills. They need food. They need to use the bathroom. They need a place to stay. They buying clothes. And all these migrants, especially in New York, where the migrants get all this money to be selling all this stuff? That's what I want to know. They say they need help, but you notice all of them got businesses? See, our government is giving them money to start businesses. A lot of them are selling things to make money. Where are you getting your merchandise, bruh? You come over here talking about a taco stand. Where you get the money to get a taco stand? You talking about you in a shelter. But brother or sister want some money? Oh, no, you don't qualify. We never qualify. Even when we try to get a house, you can have a 750 credit score, making $150,000, $200,000 a year. Oh, well, you don't qualify. Huh? What are you talking about? But the migrants, they just cross the border and they'll get a house over you with a 750 credit score. Well, let's continue. Now they say CBC members have long been clear-eyed about immigration policies disadvantage black immigrants so much that some argue that immigration should be seen as a black issue given the steady rise of immigrants in the United States' overall black population. Black immigrants are not flooding this country in the tens of millions. That's a lie. They're not. Most black immigrants, Africans and Caribbeans in particular, they have long lines, and we've covered it here. They have long lines of them trying to get a visa to the United States. The video I did a while back, we had a Zambian sister. She was trying to get a visa, and they said no. They're taking Africans' money. South Africa, they told me that too. They're getting that line. They'll deny them and keep their money. They ain't letting a bunch of them over here, please. They say Clark, they said, for example, recounted a notice trip that she and Representative Karen Bass took to Mexico in 2018 because there was many migrants of African descent. They were trapped. Further illustrating, they say what she described as a role that racism plays in admitting individuals in the United States. But to the extent that Democrats can do anything to counter Trump's immigration policy, their options are limited and all they carry so much weight. CBC members are acutely aware of the limited impacts. Any congressional effort to check Trump is complicated by Republicans controlling both chambers. Say, unfortunately, we're not in the majority, so we're going to have to rely on the courts to sort out what's legal and what's not. So the Democrats going to continue the lawfare. And said then if Democrats chose to challenge Trump's policy in court where they have indicated they will, that probably could take months and could derail, say, in court with a Trump-appointed loyalist judge, giving Trump more leeway to fine-tune and expand his mass deportation program as he likes. So the Democrats, so that's the plan, y'all. So when Trump is doing this mass deportation, they're going to be filing lawsuits. Filing lawsuits not to protect America, but filing lawsuits to keep people here that broke the law. But when black people, quote unquote, break the law, we're the Congressional Black Caucus and the Democrats filing lawsuits to keep us out of jail. You understand what I'm saying? Where are they at? You have hardened criminals that's in this country right now. And yet they worry more about hardened criminals staying in this country than helping out a black person that committed a nonviolent offense and keeping them out of jail. I told y'all a long time ago, I don't believe people should be in jail for nonviolent offenses. I think they should be on home confinement. That's just what I believe. I think home confinement is best. Hey, if they can work from home, great. But home confinement would be best. Trust me. Home confinement, people dealing with home confinement during COVID. Let me say that much. And I just think it would be a better use of government resources, but they run a plantation. That's why they want everybody locked up in jail. You got to remember, mass incarceration came with the white man. That's not how the rest of the world did things. You know, the Africans didn't do mass incarceration. The Asians, they didn't do mass incarceration. The Arabs, they didn't do mass incarceration. Because if you did certain crimes, you out of here. It wasn't no mass incarceration. You know what I'm saying? And really doing this here is the reason why people stayed in line, so they didn't need no bunch of jails. The Native Americans, we talking about the real ones, the red ones. We're not talking about the $5 ones like Elizabeth Warren. They had, I've talked to a few of them a couple of years ago about some of their methods of committing, keeping people in line with crime. You know what I'm saying? Like this one Native American man I spoke to a couple of years ago, and he told me how they would handle somebody, like if somebody would like do some raping or something, then what they'll do to them, they say they'll strip them down and say they'll tie their hands and feet down, and put a bunch of honey on them, and in that area, the big old bullet ants will come over there. And if you know about the bullet ant is the worst bite you can get from an ant. And they basically let the bullet ants, they put it on his thing and let the bullet ants just tear him up. And he just stay there till he out of here. Trust me. That'll keep you from not touching a woman that you ain't got no business touching, right? See, when I was hearing some of them ways that they would take care of people back then, they were on to something. All this mass incarceration and all that stuff. No, we don't need all that to make a society safe. We really don't. But, like I said, it's a business for them. But let's continue. So they say that's why we're seeing more organizations trying to partner, pursue legal battles, whatever it is trying to protect or slow down the process. CBC members haven't given up hope at all, as Clark said. So we have to use everything at our disposal. They one of the tools of state governments. Democratic governors in blue states vowed to defy any Trump orders, and CBC members are taking inspiration from the promised disobedience. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey, for example, said she instructs state police not to cooperate with Trump's plans. Even the Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker was forceful, so you come from my people. You say earn the money, you come through me. Representative Gregory Meeks plan on engaging in similar efforts in New York. He said it's up to those local governments. He said, I'll be talking to my mayor and governor. So this is going to be a tough 2 years. He said, I can speak up about it. I can stand for what is right. Say Camlager Dove is already full steam ahead with the education program that delves into the challenges migrants face from all over the globe. She's spoken to the Congressional Caucus on the global migration, which she chairs. Y'all, look. So basically, what I'm trying to show you is this: the Congressional Black Caucus do not work for Black Americans. They are already doing the same thing they were doing in the last Trump administration. They are for immigration. They're not for Black people. So we can complain on Congressional Black Caucus all we want, but this is why all of you got to be registered to vote. Okay, we have to start now. We have to start taking names down now. We can't do it when it's election time. We have to start taking names down. We have to start saying, okay, who are the ones that's run off of their mouth, like Yvette Clarke? She need to go. She needs to go. Anyone that's talking that mess, they got to go. The only way the Congressional Black Caucus is going to get in line is going to take the Black community to get them in line. You got to let them know this is a new day. If you don't work for us, we either going to sit it out or we going to vote the other side just to get you out. Because whoever Yvette Clarke is running against in 2026, at this point, y'all in New York, whoever she's running against, go vote against her. Because we need to show people that's run off of the mouth like that, you better serve the Black community. People voted for Trump for the immigration too, and even Black people. They did vote for Trump for immigration. Because Black people are footing the bill for people, grown men and grown women who chose to leave their country to come all the way up here. A lot of them were supposed to do asylum at the first country that they come to at the United States Embassy. You can do asylum at the United States Embassy. You ain't got to come all the way up here to do it. But they felt they can do it because we had a weak president, a weak milquetoast president, who say, y'all can just come on all you want. And that's why Biden told the civil rights bootlegs that you're going to have to work with the Hispanics. There's more of them here than y'all. And you're like, why did he say that? Well, his plan was to flood the country. Listen, and y'all talking about racism. You remember when the Haitians were on the border during the Biden administration? Do y'all remember that? That wasn't Trump. That was Biden. And Biden got them Haitians, he got their behinds right back to Port-au-Prince. We never seen him get people back to their home country so fast. Biden did that, and he's a Democrat. Well, what were y'all Congressional Black Caucus crying about him taking the Haitians out of here? Y'all didn't say nothing about that, but now since it's Trump, that's what made me sick about you Democrats. If it's a Republican, racism. If it's a white Democrat, I didn't see that. I don't know what he did. What you talking about? I didn't see it. I ain't even here. He did that? Really? I'm going to look into that. You say nothing. You say nothing. So long as racism comes from a white Democrat, is fine. As long as a white Democrat ship Haitians back to Port-au-Prince, and to be honest with you, if you know what's going on the ground in Haiti, Port-au-Prince in particular, Haitians actually have a legitimate asylum claim. Only Haitians do. Not them other ones from Venezuela and El Salvador and everything else. And especially El Salvador is doing good right now. So all of them need to go back. Was it Bukele? He got that country in line. They need to go back to their homeland. It's doing very well. Haitians actually have a legitimate claim. Cubans coming over here, they don't have a legitimate claim. Why all them Cubans keep coming over here? They don't have a legitimate claim. So if any black people should have a legitimate claim, it should be the Haitians. The rest of them that's coming here, they come here because they want to. And the asylum program was not to be economic migrants. Oh, I'm not making no money, so I'm going to go over here to make money. No, that's not the way that works. If you want to do that, you got to go through the legal channels. But they've been gaming the system. So what the Republicans are going to have to do is they're going to have to pass a immigration law to change their asylum laws. That you can't come up here. Listen, the only thing they got to do is this. Put in the law, you have to go to the U.S. Embassy in your country to file asylum. If you come up here to do it, to our border, it's null and void. That's all they have to do. And your asylum claim has to be processed at the U.S. Embassy. It cannot be, and now if you don't have a U.S. Embassy for some reason in your country, then you need to go to the next country over where the closest U.S. Embassy is at, and you file asylum there. If you come up here, you are not going to be let in. You don't have asylum. Go back to where you come from. That right there will change everything. You know, and just like let's say like in South Africa, right? You know, I know sometimes South Africans get a bad rap at times. You know, and I've looked into some of that too, right? Like how South Africans feel is that the whole Africa can't flood their country. But, you know, South Africa, from my experience, from what I've, you know, learned about it and me going, that's the closest thing to America you're going to get on the African continent, just beyond with you. And so that's why it's easier for everybody to go to South Africa on the continent than it would be for them to come over here, right? So trust me, the majority of Africans are not coming here. They go into South Africa, a lot of them. So a lot of South Africans are like, bro, just come over here legally. That's all we're asking. Don't be coming over here illegally. Now, you got some that's being silly on some things, and you know, it's kind of silly. And what I'm learning is some of the people that don't got nothing going on, that's what they worried about 24/7. But people that got some legitimate things, you can't come into people's country illegally. Like, so when Americans show up, at least as of now, we can go 90 days to South Africa, visa free. We just show with our passport. Now, after the 90 days, you either got to do a what they call a country run. In other words, you got to leave the country for a day or two, then come back and restart your time. Or you know, people do that all the time, right? They just come reset their time. Or you can eventually try to get you a work visa or, you know, business visa, whatever you're gonna try to get to stay there. But they just asking y'all to come legally. I ain't got a problem with them saying that. Not at all. I don't have a problem with that. And most South Africans are cool people, you know, and they understand what we going through in America. And I told them this, y'all don't have a, boy, if y'all we went through in America, y'all really be hostile, you know, about all these people flooding this country. So my thing is this, the Congressional Black Caucus, y'all, we can't just get mad at Kamala because she's not the problem. The Congressional Black Caucus been the problem, not Kamala Harris, right? So it's time for us to make sure to write them names down of everybody during these 2 years who's talking that, oh, we're going to fight Trump about immigration and, oh, Trump is this about immigration. We all just need to start writing their names down. I'm going to try to start keeping a tally myself. Over the years, I'm going to try to make a little list, and I'm going to say, okay, every time I hear one talking with this pro-immigration, I'm going to write their name down. And maybe by the time we keep doing these stories and we see everybody who's pro-immigration, we know Ilhan Omar is, so her name should be written down, but it's going to be hard to get her out. Now, you know, Trump and them want to be petty. I wonder if she's still going to be here after 2 years because Trump and them, you know, she's naturalized, I think. And, you know, they can take away your citizenship if they wanted to now, you know. So she needs to be careful. She definitely needs to be careful. Ilhan Omar. But ladies and gentlemen, we got to handle this black politician, this black preacher. We got to handle that. You say we have to separate from the bootlegs, bootlicks, and shields. Yeah, but sometimes you got to force separation. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what I mean by that is you got to get them out of those positions of power. You have to set a precedent with them to say you cannot be in positions of power no longer. We're going to get you out because you're not pro-Black America. You're pro-immigration. You're pro this. You're pro that. We're not pro that. If you're talking about this pro-abortion stuff, you're not pro-Black America. Black America wants to grow their families, and they're not trying to destroy their families. That's not the way the majority of us are raised anyway. Most Black Americans have conservative ideals. They may not majority vote that way, but most Black Americans, you ask them questions, we have conservative ideals, but it's Black conservative ideals, not white conservative ideals. Because see, white conservatism And black conservatism is two different things. When people say conservative, you're thinking white. No. White is totally different. Black people that have conservative ideals, we still fight against racism. We still fight for reparations. We still fight for all that, but we still have conservative ideals. Doesn't mean when you have conservative ideals, you throw away the fight for the rights of black people. No, that's stupid. You black. You got to fight for the rights of black people. You know, they'll say like Martin Luther King was considered a conservative. But you see, he fought for black people. He fought for our rights. Now, was he right in everything he did? No, but who is? If you look at the Nation of Islam, they're conservative, very conservative. Look at what they practice. Look at what the women have to wear in the Nation of Islam. Look at how the men dress in the Nation of Islam. Look at how they require their hair. They're very conservative. The traditional Christian church, the black Christian church, we're talking about the traditional, not this trash you see today. Yes, I say trash because it's not the true form of the traditional black Christian church. The real Christian church was conservative. We didn't go out there talking crazy, full of these tattoos, full of these piercings. We wasn't out here with all this crime. No, we was talking about the family. We was talking about the man leading the household, the woman with the kids, and all of this very conservative ideals. We are conservative people. Don't even talk about the African continent. We don't not go there. Someplace in the Caribbean, conservative ideals. We are a conservative people. But when black folks got around them folks, you start adopting some of their ways. And some of their ways, ever since you adopted some of their ways, that has destroyed a lot of our people in a lot of ways. Yeah, like you say, the Sisters of the Nation of Islam. Talk to them. You don't see them with piercings all over their faces. You don't see them with marking their neck up, marking themselves up. You don't see them with 1,000 tattoos on. Be honest with you, it's like even in the African continent, you don't see them women over there with a bunch of tattoos all over the place either. You don't see that. But you be in America, like what has happened to the men and the women? Like y'all just went crazy marking yourself up. Like you do know it's permanent, right? And when you get my age, in your 40s, them tattoos not gonna look the same. I don't have a tattoo. Never wanted one. I just never got it in my head. I want somebody to take a needle and keep sticking a needle in my arm or wherever I want a tattoo at, and using this ink. And then they talk about this tattoo ink has been causing skin cancer, like anything else in America. They've been talking about that, but yet you're marking yourself up. Why? I don't get black people. Why are you marking yourself up like that now? And especially you're a gentleman too, ladies. You're putting tattoos on your face, putting tattoos on your neck. I'm telling you, you must don't want a job. And it says a lot about you. If you're a man or a woman, you put a tattoo on your face and neck, people going to look at you as trash. People shouldn't judge me. People going to judge you, whether you like it or not. Women, if you're putting tattoos all on your chest and all that, they're going to look at you like ghetto trash. It don't matter what you say. Well, they shouldn't be. It don't matter what you say. If you're going to do it, you ever heard that statement? Put it right. Like, don't go no further than where people don't have to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you stop at with your shoulder, or, like somewhere people normally can't see it. If you have a professional job, if it's on your back somewhere, if it's, maybe it's somewhere on your upper thigh or somewhere, if you wear a skirt, nobody can see you got that. Unless you had a bikini at the beach or something like that. But most people say even that if you're going to do it. But no, they got this stuff everywhere and the piercings everywhere. And I'm like, it doesn't look good, especially when you get my age. It don't. That ink fades and it's, I'm like, yeah, and cops. That's another one. I don't think cops should have tattoos. Them white cops got so many tattoos, and then you got to look at some of them tattoos them white cops got, because you study them symbols and white supremacy symbols, and you see a white supremacy symbol on them, like, oh hell, this is what I'm about dealing with. That's another thing. So many cops got tattoos now, and that's crazy. They all tatted up. That's stupid. They need to ban that again. Yeah, they tattooing their face up, all this tattoos on it. Why you want to tattoo your face up? I don't get that. And I think the first famous person I seen put a tattoo on their face, I remember, was Mike Tyson. And it's like after Mike Tyson did it, I noticed everybody wanted to start doing it. They took it this far. Just tattooing themselves all in the face, and oh my God. That's why people say sometimes, and I know it's not all of us, it's not all Black Americans doing that. It's not, and thank God it's not. But some of you younger brothers and sisters, you don't get it. You're setting yourself up for failure before you start. First of all, yeah, I know some of you wasn't raised the right way. You got one strike against you because you're Black. Always remember that in this country. It don't matter how much money you make or where you're sent. One strike because you're Black, okay? Definitely another strike if you're a Black male, okay? That's two you got against you. A Black female, she got some discrimination, yes, but people still have sympathy for her because she's female. But if you're a Black male, you definitely got two strikes. You understand? Don't make strike three with your appearance looking like you just coming from the crime syndicate with all the tattoos and all of that mess. You know what I'm saying? That's why we were raised, you got to be 10 times smarter. You got to know this, you got to know that. Why? Because we already have strikes against us. And it definitely shows me that that's not being taught in the home, because your parents would have told you, hey, don't put all them tattoos on you like that, because they're going to judge you a certain way. It's even worse if you're a lady. Men can get away with some of the tattoo, but when you're a woman and you tattooing yourself up, they're going to say that you looking like that you out here on Bissonnette in Houston on the blade with all them tattoos. Or it's the way some of you dressing. No, go back to the Nation of Islam. Do you see them sisters dressing like they on Bissonnette? Some of them clothes you're wearing, it shows every crack of your behind. Can you leave something to the imagination? That a man be wondering like, whoa, I wonder what she really looks like. There's a lot of fly clothes you can wear where people don't see nothing on you. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I feel led to say it. Please respect yourself, ladies. Please. Gentlemen, be men. Stop walking around with a purse. Women have purses. Now, if you're a trans woman or LGBT, I guess that's that. But if you're not LGBT or a trans woman, you walk around with a purse, if I was a woman, I would look at you as LGBT. What a man need to do with a purse? Some of y'all walk around with clothes so tight, and I'm like, what's going on with y'all? That's what women do. Women want to show their figure. Y'all supposed to be men. That purse thing just trips me out. Shannon Sharp and the rest of them walk around literally with a purse. What happened to carrying a doggone wallet, bruh? What you need to be carrying anything for? Okay, you go on a trip, fine. You carrying a backpack, suitcase. You know, men may have a briefcase. Men may have a carry-on bag that's fly or whatever. Okay, cool. But we're not talking about traveling. We're talking about you walking around like, what do you need that for, bro? Go get you a woman and put it in her purse. That's what men normally do. Hey, hold this for me. Put it in her purse. You got dudes walking around with purses and young women running around here saying bruh all day. Bruh, bro, bruh. Like, I can't stand to see, listen, I'm going to wrap this up. I can't stand these young women saying bruh all the time. They'll say it to another female. Bruh, don't you know about this, bruh? Bro, bruh. Like, y'all, and you wonder why dudes say you masculine. Stop saying bruh to a female. Stop doing it. My Lord, black people, please raise your children right. Raise your sons to be men and your daughters to be women. Stop trying to blend the two. All right. I done ranted enough tonight. It's both sides. It's both sides. And Eric say, you say it's a turnoff when they say bro or bro. Y'all fellas have to be so cutthroat. If you heard a woman say that in front of you, you was interested, you like, no, I'm done. Like, what you, ain't no woman gonna call me no bruh. No. And ladies, if you see him carrying a purse, leave him too. If you see him sagging his pants, leave him too. Why does he want to show the crack of his behind to everybody? To me, you're LGBT. Yeah, I said it. If you're running around here with showing the crack of your behind to other men, you're LGBT. And a woman need to leave your behind alone. Since we want to talk about getting back to traditionalism, let's get back to traditionalism. Men wear their clothes right. Men carry wallets. Men don't carry purses. That's what women do. I'll never forget that when I was in Chicago and I was on that water cruise thing, and I see a sister with a purse and her dude with a purse. I say, what has happened to black women? How they sitting up here with a dude with a purse? How? Like, what do y'all do? Y'all sit up there and say, well, my purse look better than yours. Like, what do y'all talk about? I mean, men supposed to go buy purses for their women. Not like your girl go buy a purse for you. It's not a purse, it's a merce. It's a purse, bro. Stop trying to. Anyway, let me get up off here, y'all. Let me get up off of here. Let me get off of here. Yeah, you say men got more weave than the women now. Yeah, you got more guys with long hair now than the women. Yo, yes, I've never seen that. You got more guys that got that, and that's why listen, guys are wearing bonnets. If we're gonna talk about the traditional family, let's go traditional. Men don't wear bonnets. That's what women do. But you got guys now talking about protecting their hair. Like, okay, all right. I'll be here all night talking about that, y'all. And listen, I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you like it, because I don't like that blurring of the lines mess. You either be a man or a woman. I don't like that blurring of the lines. To me, if a man's blurring the lines, then to me, okay, well, join the LGBT community. You can do whatever you need to do, bro. Same thing with a woman. You stop trying to blur the lines with a man. Are you a stud? Like, what's going on? Somebody walking in their masculinity is a wonderful thing. A woman being extremely feminine is a beautiful thing. Do that. All right, y'all. I ranted enough. Thank y'all for listening. And make sure you download the African Diaspora News Channel app and the Google Play and Apple App Store. Take advantage of the Cyber Monday deal. 25% off. Use the code CYBER, CYBER, the coupon code to get 25% off. The yearly, you take the most advantage of that. And we'll see y'all next time.